Good morning, children. So, in your last class, it was like we were discussing about your second chapter. Okay, now going on for your next chapter, that is fiber to fabric, animal fibers. So, last time in your last year, that is your sixth standard, we were discussing about uh, fibers which were obtained from plants. Okay, so that was your cotton and jute. Okay, so plant fibers we discussed in your last year. This year it is like a fiber which is obtained from animal we'll be discussing. Okay, so whatever kind of fiber you have, okay, you see here you have different kinds of fibers in this particular, means different kinds of materials of cloth arranged here. Okay, so these all are the fabrics, okay, which are made up of yarn, okay, which are made up of yarn, and then that particular yarn is made up of fibers. That fiber could be an animal fiber or else it could be an plant fiber. But today's chapter it is like we will be discussing about fibers which we are getting it from animals. Okay, so any guesses uh, from which kind of animals do we get these fibers from? Okay, so any guesses? Yes, it is like we get different kinds of fibers like wool, silk and all from your sheep, goat, yak, your rabbits and camels. Okay, from these animals we get what? We get wool. Okay, so we get what from these animals? We get wool. Okay, so animal fibers, wool and silk. So it is like animal fibers we get wool. Wool is one of a kind of fabric, fiber which we get it from animal, namely who are they? Your sheep, goat, yak, rabbit and camels. These animals are giving you fibers. With the help of that kind of a fiber, what we'll do, we'll convert that into a fabric called as your different names are given that we'll be discussing in the further class. Okay, so now you see, so hair of certain animals can be used for making cloth materials. So hairs of certain animals means the animal hair is being now used for making clothing materials. Okay, like your wool and silk. Wool to we discussed, and silk we are getting from where? Silk we are getting it from your silk worms or silk moth. Okay, that we'll discuss in detail now. Okay, so the animals which gives you fiber, they are called as what? They we call, and that particular fiber is known as animal fiber. We call them as, if wool they are giving you, we call them as wool yielding animals. Okay, next, wool is commonly obtained from where? Wool is commonly obtained from hair of your sheep, your goat, and then rabbit and camels. These are the animals. See, when we discuss the chapter, it's like you are supposed to make some points. Okay, that will make you very fast when you read when your question answers. Okay, so if I ask you name some wool yielding animals, means what is your answer? Your answer will be, ma'am, the wool yielding animals are sheep, goat, yak and rabbit and camels. Okay, so these are your wool yielding animals. Okay, now going on to your structure of your wool. So wool is, you see, whenever you see a wool you see here, is it heavy? No, it is not that heavy. So the structure of wool is very porous. Okay, and we see some air is, is compact into it, and it acts as insulator. The meaning of insulator here is when wool is, so generally wool we get it from the hair of your sheep and goat. Okay, what is it doing with that particular animal? What is the purpose of growing that much of hair onto the sheep and goats, so whatever the skin you have? It is doing what? It is helping them from where? It is helping them from the whatever the winter season or cool season. It is doing what? It is keeping, or it is storing the heat in its body. Okay, it is not letting the heat move out of their body. So what we are doing, we are taking that particular whatever the fiber of their whatever hair they have, wool fiber, will take it and will make wool. Okay, and then we'll make woolen clothes like sweaters and all. So we wear that. Okay, and then we will be surviving from whatever the cold atmosphere we are having. Okay, so they act as what? Insulators. Okay, and do not allow body heat to move out. Okay, during winter season our body needs heat. Okay, what will happen means whatever the heat is there in our body, that will move out. So in order to stop that movement of heat from our body to the atmosphere, we wear sweater. Now sweater is what? Sweater is acting as your insulator. Okay, so those fibers, animal fiber, namely wool, is doing what? Is keeping warm. During which condition? Colder condition. Okay, so wool yielding animals. Name some wool yielding animals. Means you have sheep, goat, yak, camel, rabbit, llama, and alpaca. Okay, so name some wool yielding animals. Means your answer will be sheep, goat, yak, camel, rabbit, llama, and alpaca. Okay, till here we discussed what? We discussed animal fiber. Why, which kind of a fiber that particular animal, your goat and all are giving, that one is one of the point. And why we are using that one? Because they act as insulator. This point you keep in your mind. This is an important point till now what we discussed. Okay, keep it in your mind. As we move, you make these points in your mind. Okay, keep a rough book near you. Whatever points I'm giving you, you make a point. That will give you a clear idea of what the chapter is. Okay, now next, move on to the next topic, that is the quality. Okay, what is the quality? If you want quality kind of a fiber, what it should be? It depends upon breed of the sheep. If the sheep is very healthy, if the sheep is eating healthy foods, and is in a clean and clear environment, it is growing, means the quality of the wool will be very good. Okay, so the quality of wool is judged on the base of thickness. The wool which you get should be having good thick length, it should have shine, it should have strength, it should have, and a good quality of color it should have. Okay, so then the cost will be varying. Okay, cheap quality means the strength is less, shine is less, thickness is less. That depends upon what? From where you're getting the fiber or the wool. You're getting it from respective animal. Okay, that particular animal should be very healthy, and it should be, okay, it should be of a good kind of a breed. Understood what the point is? The quality of wool now depends upon what? Breed of the sheep. Understood? Breed of the sheep. Like you see, the Chinese people, their hair is very soft, and they have very shiny kind of a hair. So they are a kind of breed. Okay, they are different kind of a breed people. So they are having good quality of hair. Okay, understood? In that way, quality of the wool depends upon breed of the sheep. Okay, we have different kinds of sheeps. Okay, their breed is different. In the same way, pashmina, it is a pashmina is what, beta? Pashmina is a fine, fluffy, light and warm wool from Kashmir and nearby Himalaya areas. So Pashmina is the best quality because that is a breed kind of a wool which we are getting from Kashmir. Okay, Pashmina is obtained from the underfur of Kashmiri goat. Okay, here the animal is goat whose fur we are using it for making a Pashmina. This is a name given for that particular fiber. Okay, there are six important wool yielding breed in Indian sheep. So you have sheep here. Okay, we have six different breeds in them. Okay, all these are what? These are sheeps, but different kinds of what? Breeds. They are different kinds of breeds. Okay, now see. So this table is regarding your which animal? This is about your sheeps. Okay, these are the different kinds of breeds of your sheeps. So the breed, okay, the breed here, see, Bakawal, okay. So quality of wool is woolen shawl, okay. Woolen shawls are made up of this kind of breed of your sheep. Lohi, superior wool, okay. Lohi is a kind of sheep, okay. What we get it from? We get a quality of wool is a superior wool, okay. And Nali, carpet wool, okay. And then Rampur, Bushehr, brown fleece, okay. And Patanwadi, Hosiri, and then Marwari, uh, chorus wool. Okay, these all are what breeds of your sheep, and the quality of the wool are being given here. See, now see, different kinds of animals are shown here. Your sheep, yak, goat, Angora goat, Arabian camel, and Bactrian camel, llama, alpaca, Angora rabbit, and Kashmiri goat. Okay, all these particular animals fiber we are taking, are their hairs we are taking for making wool. So these are some animals. They are giving you what? They are wool yielding animals. Wool yielding animals. And these are what? These are the breeds of different kinds of sheep. Name some fine and warm wool which we get it from Kashmiri, means that particular name is Pashmina, that is fine, fluffy, light and warm wool. Okay, that is the best quality wool. Which one better? That one is your Pashmina. Okay, Pashmina is fine. Fine means very thin. Okay, fluffy. Fluffy means, you know now, fluffy means very light. Okay, and warm wool from Kashmir. So even though it is light, it will make you warm. Okay, no need of wearing, you know, thick particular kind of sweaters. Okay, if you wear Pashmina, the quality of fiber is very thin. Okay, like it's like cloth only, you can wear it. Okay, so no need of getting so thick and all. Okay, so this is about your different kinds of breeds and different kinds of animals from where we get this fiber, from where we make woolen clothes, shawls and all. Okay, this was a light discussion about your different kinds of animal from where we get wool. Okay, so all these are what? These are wool yielding animals. Now from what we discuss is from fiber to wool. Okay, we'll have a discussion about how the fiber is now converted into wool. Which fiber? That particular animal ka hair. Okay, that particular hair or fiber to wool. How they convert? This is important now. Okay, there we have different procedure. Okay, journey of wool from the rearing end. So in the following section we will learn about what? Journey of wool from the rearing. What is the meaning of rearing? Rearing means feeding them. Okay, feeding them with protein. So see, when you have good hair, think, when you have good hair, what you should eat? We discussed what kind of a component if you eat, you'll have good growth. So protein you should eat. Okay, if you eat protein rich food, you'll get what? You'll get your hair is growing in a proper way. Okay, so in rearing part, what we learn is, in rearing part we will feed. It is a discussion about feeding that particular animal with protein rich food and maintaining the hair. Okay, maintaining the hair. See, if you are having a good hair, okay, you are eating so much of protein, your hair is growing very properly. Okay, and then what you are doing is, you are not at all doing head bath, means you are not maintaining your hair. Okay, what you should do, you should comb your hair every day, you should wash it. Okay, and then what you should do, you should protect your hair from whatever the, it should not get infected, it should not get any kind of a dandruff and all. If you do proper maintenance, your hair will be in a good condition, it will shine and it will look very beautiful. Okay, in the same way, in rearing part, what the animals are being done with is, they will be feeded with food, protein rich food, and then they will be, they will, their whatever the body which is having that fiber, they will be, protected like anything, means they will take care of that particular, whatever the fiber they are growing on that particular body of that particular sheep, goat, whatever the animal it could be. Okay, and breeding in the sense, we breed them. Okay, crossing and all, they'll do different kinds of breeds of wool yielding animals such as sheep to final finished wool. Okay, we learn here about rearing and breeding. Okay, and then till that wool we are getting, we'll discuss about that particular things over here. Okay, getting wool fiber from sheep involves the following given steps. Okay, these all are what? From the fabric. Rearing and breeding means feeding them and breeding them till that particular point, means from growing the fiber to dyeing that particular wool, we have different steps. How many steps we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, total 7 steps we have. Okay, total how many steps? 7 steps. Okay, first one is rearing and breeding, then shearing, washing and scoring, fourth one is sorting, fifth one is carding, sixth is dyeing, seventh one is spinning and weaving. Seventh one is spinning and weaving. These are what? From your fiber. Which fiber? Woolen fiber. To your weaving, means you'll weave it into the form of your woolen clothes. We are going through all these procedures. Okay, this we are going to learn by topic wise. Total how many topics we have now? 7 topics we have. Okay, so what is your first one? Rearing and breeding is your first step, and then shearing, washing and scoring, and then sorting, then carding, then dyeing, and then spinning and weaving. Make small points. Okay, when we read at that time only you make the points. Okay, this is what? This is these are the steps. Okay, involved. From where to where we are moving? We are moving from the journey of your fiber to wool. Okay, how the animal fiber is converted into wool, that journey we'll be reading now. Okay, now moving on to the first one, that is rearing and okay, what is that first topic? These are discussed below. What are these? All the 6 steps are discussed, they are being discussed now. Okay, so rearing and breeding of a sheep. What we do here is, we let them eat what? Protein rich food. I told you what we are feeding them with, protein rich food. Who is giving you more protein? Tell. Okay, such mixture like your corn, pulses, jawar and oil cake. Okay, what is your oil cake here? You have oil, okay, all the seeds which are rich in oils, we extract the oil from them, and whatever left out material is there, that will make into cakes and will feed it to the respective wool yielding animals. Okay, we'll give that particular whatever the diet to that particular animal, and it will grow curly and shiny hair, because that particular food or diet is rich in which component? Protein. So it will grow good healthy quality of wool. Okay, so depending upon quality of wool required, the sheep are now selectively breed by choosing the parent of the sheep with the desired characteristics. Okay, so what is the meaning over here is, what we do is, first thing, we are feeding them with protein rich food by giving them all the pulses. So good curly silky kind of a this what we are getting, curly and silky kind of fiber are your wool you are getting. And depending upon which kind of a wool you need colorful, okay, you need white and black color ka whatever, then what we do is, we'll select the breed, means two parents will select one which is having soft and shiny one. Okay, either it could be a male or female, and the other one will go for strength. Okay, one sheep, the female one will take a shiny and quality one, and then the male, if we see for color, okay, color mixing, so then we'll get a baby which is having shiny one, okay, and a strength one. Okay, so we do what? Selective breed will do. We do a selective breeding is done by choosing the parents, okay, which with the desired characteristics, means you choose what kind of a wool you need. Okay, so sheeps are reared in many parts of our country for wool. Okay, when reared sheep develop a thick growth of hair, they are shaved off. Okay, what they do? They feed them, they breed them. Breed in the sense we select the parents. Okay, depending upon what you want. So see, if you want a white color rose, okay, white color rose with pink color shade on it, what you do? Okay, you cut it. Okay, what we do? We do that crossing. Okay, what we do? Red color rose or pink color rose and white color rose ka we do what? We do crossing. Okay, in the same way, it's like it depends upon what you want. Okay, you want black color cow wool with a very shine in it, so you take any one parent which is having shiny hair. Okay, the other parent, it should have black color wool. Okay, so then we'll breed them, then you'll get a baby which is having, possibility is there. Okay, so that baby will be having shiny and that too black color ka wool it will have. That is the meaning of selectively breed them. Okay, by feeding which kind of a food? Protein rich food, such that it will grow very healthy hair, that is healthy wool. Okay, now after your wool is been, it is developed on its skin. Okay, that hair is now shaved off. Okay, what you do? You will shave. Okay, the process of shaving the sheep's body, the process of doing what? The process of shaving of sheep's body to obtain fleece along with the thin layer of skin is called shearing. Okay, after the growth of the hair, what we do is, we will what we do? We will shave off that particular fleece. Okay, we don't say hair now. Okay, the sheep's body to obtain fleece, whatever that thing. See here, that person, he is doing what? He is shaving. We don't use the word now shaving over here. We use a word shearing. Shearing is what? In our language, shaving the hair, but here in this topic, shearing of fleece. Understood? Shaving hair, we convert that into what? We say shearing the fleece. Shearing is what? Shaving. Fleece is what? The hair of your, or the wool which is developed on the skin of your sheeps. Okay. So the process of shaving of sheep's body to obtain what? Fleece. Okay. Along with the thin layer of skin is called shearing. This is done with the help of hair cutting machine. Shearing is done only once in a year, generally in spring or early summer. Okay, season is spring or early summer. What we do, shaving of sheep's body along with fleece is called what? Shearing. And what is that part which we are getting it out of its body? That is fleece. We don't say hair, chota chota tukda of your hair. That is not chota chota tukda. That is your fleece. Okay, we say fleece over here. Keep it in your mind. I'll be asking as your bits. I'll make bits from this chapter and I'll ask you to, you will be only answering the questions. Okay, I'll not give you answers. Okay, along with thin layer of skin is called shearing. Okay, when we do the shearing, we do that shearing in spring or early summer. Okay, now what you see, generally your father, he does what he does shaving. Okay, shaving is also like a kind of shearing only. He'll shave what? He will shave his whatever beard he is having. Okay, when he does that one, the upper layer of the skin is a little bit taken out. Okay, the dead skin what he is having, it is taken. But sometimes what happens is, while doing shaving, your father might get a cut. Okay, so he might get a cut. So what he does, he'll take a lotion from his whatever the shaving kit and he'll apply. Understood? In the same way, he due to water, so that he should not get any infection. In the same way, after the shearing process of that particular sheep, okay, shearing, what we does is, what they are doing is, sheep is immediately dipped into an antiseptic solution, okay, to prevent any skin infection. Okay, okay, understood. Now what they'll do is, they'll let that sheep into one tank. Okay, that particular tank is having water in it, and in that water some disinfectant solution, antiseptic solution they'll add. Okay, then they will let that particular animal to move from the tank and then move away, okay, into the whatever the place they go for eat and all. Okay, this is done. This is what? Shearing. As simple as that. Shaving of sheep's body to obtain what? Not fabric or wool, fleece. Okay, along with thin skin is called shearing. After shearing, they are dipped in what? Antiseptic solution to prevent what? Skin infection. Okay, this is part 2. Okay, not part 2, your second heading. First heading is rearing and breeding. Second heading is shearing. And third one is scoring. What is it? Scoring. What you do is, now here is the sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in. What we do is, the sheared skin with hair, okay, skin is there along with the hair, thoroughly with soap solution in number of tanks to remove grease, dirt and dust. So the sheep, what we, even though we maintain, it is a little bit dirty and dusty, and it will have some grease in it. Okay, generally you see your hair after 2 to 3 days, you sweat. During your sweating, what happens is, you'll release some oil, okay, that is converting into your greasy thing. So what happens during that process, what will happen, your hair get dirty. Okay, so what we do, we remove what here in this scoring, in while the scoring process, we remove grease, dirt and dust from the hair, and this process is called scoring. Okay, nowadays we are doing what, we are using a machine to, what we do, we remove the dirt and all. The scoring hairs are then dried. Okay, how you do the head bath and all, in the same way. So first one is, we eat proper protein rich food. Okay, and then breeding is done. and then we remove the fleece from the body of your whatever sheep you have, and then we'll apply antiseptic solution, and then we'll wash that particular fleece in order to remove what? Dust, dust, dirt, and oil, okay, grease, okay, with the soap we do, okay, and then we'll dry it off as how you maintain your hair in the same way. But the process we call as, here we call as head bath. Here you say washing or scoring. What do we call? Washing or scoring is done for who? The fleece, okay. Hair nahi bolenge, we say here fleece. Next is sorting. You dried it. After drying, what we do is sorting. Sorting material, generally we use a word. What is the meaning of sorting, ma'am? So what you do is dried hair of different textures are then sorted out. The small fluffy fibers are called burrs and then picked out and sent to reprocessing. Okay, what we do is after drying those fleece, dried hair of different textures, okay. So see, in your hair you see that your back part you have a good quality of hair, and in your forehead and all you'll have a thin and light small hairs, okay. So when you go for Tirupati and all, what you see, that person will cut your hair and he'll separate small hairs and all, he'll keep in one bag, and long hairs he'll keep in another bag. In the same way, here during your sorting process, what they'll do is they will divide or sort, means they'll separate. Sort in the sense they'll separate small fluffy fibers, okay, called as burrs, okay. Those small pieces, you see what that person is doing, he is sorting them, okay, and they call that as your burrs and sent to reprocessing, okay. Next is carding, the process by which selected. Okay, now after sorting, you have your topic carding. Okay, in your sorting, what we were doing, we were taking the different hair structures. Okay, whatever the hair of the sheep was there. Okay, that we were like that particular person was sorting. Okay, those sorted whatever this fluffy fibers, we call them as burrs, and those burrs we take now, and then we'll send those burrs through a machine where we do the straightening part of your birds, okay. The small whatever the hairs you have, that will pass through a roller where straightening of the birds is happening. In the same way how we do our hair straightening, okay, we'll use a machine, small pressing machines we'll use, where our hair will straighten them, so as to keep them in your proper condition. So this is done in your carding. Carding means you are straightening the burrs by passing them through a rolling machine. This process is called your carding. Simple. What we take? We take the burrs, okay, and burrs are curly wools, okay. In simple language, curly wool fibers, or else these burrs will take and send it through these rolling machines. What is the purpose of sending them? To make them straighten, okay. This process is called carding, okay. After carding, what we do, you will be having a straight burrs, okay. Sorting में you will be having smaller ones and longer ones also, okay. Depending upon their length, we'll do the carding, okay. After carding, you will be having lengthwise, okay. Lengthwise you'll have, after that lengthwise whatever the carded burrs are there, what we do dyeing for them. What we do, we dye them. What we do, we dye them. Dyeing in the sense we'll color them, okay. The wool fiber of light or white color are dyed in any color of choice, okay, depending upon of your choice of your whatever the color you want. What we do, we color those what fiber, okay, wool fiber. Then what we do, we spin and weave. Okay, spinning is done. Okay, whatever the fiber is there, we'll spin them into fibers. Okay, those fibers will spin them, comb them, and rolled into yarns. Means small fibers, they are converted into yarns. In the sense, see here, you have a, see what you have here, you have these are what, fibers. Okay, what are these are fibers. What they'll do is, these fibers they'll take and then they'll spin them. Okay, they'll spin it in this way. They'll spin with the help of hand or weaving machine, and they'll make them into yarn. Okay, one thread. In the sense, one thread means, here you see this one. Okay, each one is one yarn, and then they'll weave into a cloth. Okay, they'll do this clothing or weaving with the help of weaving or with the help of power looms and all in your machines. Okay, next, spinning and weaving. What we do now, spinning and weaving. The wool fibers are now straightened, combed, and rolled into yarns. Okay, that particular thread, this thread you are getting when, okay, this is silk. Leave this one. If you think that this is a wool. Okay, if you think, see here, you can see this one. I'll show on a black color cloth. Okay, see here, what you see further, they are being, see here beta. So this is like a pele, this was like a thread. What I did is, further I am dividing it into further pieces. You can see that they are further dividing into so many. So that is a fiber. Okay, which one is fiber? The smaller ones are your fiber. See, still you can see. Is that camera? Okay, those are what, those are fibers. Okay, then what they'll do, they'll spin them into one yarn. Okay, they'll spin them into, what they'll do, they'll spin with hand or they'll spin with the machine, and then they convert that into one yarn. Means ek dhaga, this is what the yarn is. Okay, so further it will be having some other ratio. Means further it can be divided into fiber. Okay, this is silk. So in wool also you can see the same structure. Further they can be taken out into pieces. They are fibers, and the spinned one is called as, this one is called as, one single one is called as your yarn. Understood? Okay, so this is what is happening. Okay, the wool fiber are straightened, combed, and rolled into yarn. Okay, longer fibers give you wool yarn for sweaters, and shorter fibers are spun and woven into woolen cloth. Understood? Okay, so this is what the procedure of your woolen clothes from the sheep's. Okay, sheep's hair and all. Okay, so this is your wool fiber. Wool process factory. So factory mein you can have your procedure for your conversion of fiber into yarn. Here spinning of wool by hand they are doing. Weaving also is done. Manually knitting is done, and then knitted woolen. Okay, after all these things you will get this woolen fiber. This woolen fiber is either processed by the factory, or else it could be weaved, or it could be knitted. Okay, knitting and weaving is done by hand. Spinning of wool means converting into wool. Okay, that is different. Weaving and knitting, you are converting that wool into a fabric. That is knitted woolen. That is your wool sweaters and all. Okay, whatever you make your socks, blouses and all, they are knitted woolen fabrics. Okay, so this was your half a part is done. Then you have, this is which, who is giving you fabric here, this was regarding your sheep. which was giving you a fabric, that was your wool. Okay, and how that particular fiber, okay, it's a hair right from starting, okay, right from breeding to, right from what, not even breeding, rearing, okay, right from your rearing to your knitting of woolen we learned today. Okay, and in your next class we'll be learning about your silk. Okay, who is giving you silk? Silk is, is extracted, or you are getting the silk from your silk moth or silk worm. Okay, that we'll learn in next class. For today's class, it was what, it was regarding your fiber to fabric, that to animal fibers we learned. Okay, what we learned, fiber to fabric, animal fibers we learned today. In your next class we'll learn about silk. Okay, who is giving you silk? Animal, that is again animal fiber, that is your silkworm or silk moth is giving you silk. Okay, that we'll learn in your next class. For today's class, that's it. You try to make some small points such that it will be helpful for your public exam. Okay, public exam, they'll be giving you in text question as your fill in the blanks. So I'm asking you to read. Okay, this year it's like reading practice should be done before I do the chapter. Okay, thank you. Next class, you read silk. Okay, I'll be sending you silk topic also. Well in advance explanation के पहले ही you try to read the chapter and it will be easy for you for understanding. Okay, thank you.